Have you ever stopped, truly stopped, to ask yourself, why does pain seem to be life's most relentless teacher? Not just the aches you endure, the losses you grieve, or the failures that sting deepest, but at your core, could suffering be more than punishment? Could it be the divine chisel that carves wisdom into your soul when all else fails? In the tragic theaters of ancient Athens, where gods and mortals wrestled with fate on blood-stained stages, Aeschylus gave voice to the profound mystery of human growth. He who learns must suffer, and even in our sleep, pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, and in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom to us by the awful grace of God. These words weren't despairing lament. They were sacred revelation, echoing the Delphic call to know thyself. Pain isn't random cruelty. It's the drop-by-drop sculptor, forging wisdom through despair by grace we cannot refuse. But what does that mean? How do we receive this awful grace in a world that medicates pain, avoids hardship, and seeks wisdom through shortcuts and ease? Every day, we flee the drops. What discomforts we numb with distractions. What sufferings we blame on luck. What lessons we resist in resentment. From the first sting of mourning, we resist. Failures denied, grief suppressed, trials escaped. And in this fleeing, we rarely surrender. Am I letting pain teach me wisdom, or fighting the grace that would save my soul? Are you opening to suffering's chisel, or hardening against the drops that shape you? Countless souls remain unchiseled, realizing too late that evading pain leaves wisdom unformed, lives shallow despite ease, characters brittle despite comfort, hearts unlearned despite years. Pain resisted is wisdom delayed. But those who receive the grace, those who truly become wise, let the drops fall. They know suffering's pain, cannot forget. It remembers for us. They understand that against our will, in despair's darkness, divine grace distills insight no joy could teach. Reflect on history's pain-sculpted sages. They didn't curse suffering. They received its wisdom. Viktor Frankl, enduring concentration camps, he found meaning in suffering's drops, birthing logotherapy that heals millions. Nelson Mandela, 27 years imprisoned, pain's relentless chisel forged forgiveness and leadership that reconciled a nation. Oprah Winfrey, childhood trauma's drops fell unforgiving, yet grace carved empathy and influence, touching billions. What about you? What pain are you resisting? What despair could drop wisdom if you allowed the grace? Receiving the awful grace exceeds endurance. It's sacred surrender. It's feeling the drops without bitterness, learning in sleep's unconscious forging, trusting despair's alchemy. It's about knowing. What pain teaches me now? What resistance blocks the wisdom? What despair have I fled? What enlightened life awaits the one who lets grace work? Yet, this reception requires faith. It means embracing awful grace, terrible in power, beautiful in outcome. Realizing pain forgets nothing until we learn. Accepting that against will, wisdom comes. Not earned by force, but gifted in brokenness. Most fight the drops. They numb. Addictions, distractions, blame. Fearing pain's chisel exposes weakness. But those who allow the falling, they awaken, transformed. Ancient tragedies like Aeschylus's Orestia showed suffering's cycle broken by wisdom's grace. Athens rose wiser from plague and war. The recipients, they achieved what painless could not, lives of profound depth. Will you let the drops fall? Will you receive wisdom by awful grace, even against your will? So I challenge you today. Are you ready for pain's wisdom? Not with masochistic seeking, not denied suffering, but by breathing deeply, feeling the drops and asking, what despair teaches me now? What resistance delays grace? What pain have I forgotten to learn from? What will must I surrender? What would I know if wisdom came? And profoundly, what divine life awaits the one sculpted by grace? Because here's the truth. Pain remembers for us. No ease, no avoidance, no force forgets what suffering etches. None wise says, "Here, I learned without drops." That wisdom belongs to the graced. Understanding distills in despair. Yet, by allowing the falling, trusting the awful grace, quieting resistance's cry, you'll awaken wiser than joy alone could make you. And once you truly receive wisdom through suffering, no pain is wasted. The world forever numbs the drops, but your greatest power is in letting them carve. Because when pain falls drop by drop, and grace comes against will, its lesson, its depth, its divinity, no heart remains unlearned. No life lacks wisdom. No despair defeats. Because when wisdom comes by awful grace, you become profoundly alive. So today, let the drops fall. Receive the grace, not in bitterness, but reverence. Begin the sacred forging, the wisdom born of suffering's chisel. Because he who learns must suffer, and in that finds grace.
If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.